And hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Buzzing with Brilliance, where entrepreneurs are sharing their secrets of success. My name is Mary Gooden. I like to call myself the CEO and founder of My Brilliant Life, a speaker, an author, a publisher, and I am really head over heels about supporting other soul-inspired entrepreneurs with increasing visibility, creating irresistible impact, and prospering on purpose, generating a profit from what we came here to share with the world. And I'm so
Yeah.
excited to introduce today the brilliant Michelle Ricketts. Hi, Michelle. Thank you for
Hello, hello.
joining us today on the show. I'm so glad that you're here. Share a little bit about yourself with our audience, if you would.
Thank you. And I'm so pleased to be here as well. And just getting some bit of sun coming through the day. So that's nice. It was cool earlier. So it's warming me up now. And so thrilled to be here to share with your audience. So I had a corporate background, 3 years in three different industries over 35 years. And I started in media, then transportation and logistics, and more recently credit card processing on the back end. And during all that time, I also had a hobby doing events. Never
Yeah.
did it full time. I didn't love it enough. It's too much work to do full time. But I did an event series for entrepreneurs, and it really showed me the gaps, we'll say, between the knowledge and access to knowledge for entrepreneurs. And after being restructured, downsized, whatever you want to call it, 3 times, I said, the universe is trying to tell me something, so I should listen. And I didn't want to go back into corporate. I wanted to work with entrepreneurs and help close that gap. So now as a business consultant, that's what I do.
I love that. I believe that all those steps and stones are put into place so that we do get, like you said, you like the event piece, but it wasn't enough. But bits and
Mm,
pieces of that have really drawn into the experience that you're able to offer others from a
absolutely.
heart-centered space with all these things that I've learned. It took me quite some time, Michelle, to really embody that for myself. Like all of this, all of these bits and pieces. I too came from a very corporate structured career background that always
Mm,
felt like I was chasing someone else's dream, but it was kind of all that I knew, and it was the award-winning idea.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And it sets
um,
that foundation. It really gives us a lot of tools and background and things that we can then use as we move on in our journey.
yeah, so true, so true. So before we get to those three little fabulous steps I know you're going to share with us today, who is it that who is your ideal audience? Who is it that you serve? Who is it that you really like to lead and
Work with.
engage with?
Yeah, and so business owners, and that can be entrepreneurs or in corporate, either one, because I do work with mindful leaders and help them unlock their keys to mindful leadership, and then executives as well. So yeah, really working with then male and female. I work with both globally because I do most of my work online. I do try at some point to meet all of my clients, no matter where they are, but I do work online. So I love that global ability to be able to work from our home but touch the world,
Mhm.
and somebody who really wants to be able to stop struggling with doing everything. They're wearing many hats. Even if they have a team, I often find that people are still doing too much. There's too much crossing their desk, and being able to help them to move away from that so they can focus on the things that matter. And I say then they can happy dance regularly.
Ah, that's so true. Love the happy dance.
Mhm.
All right. Well, without further ado, I would love to hear. I know that mindfulness is a big piece, and I completely agree with you. Like, we have to be telling ourselves exactly what we desire to create, or else we're going to
Mhm.
find some bumps in the road. But what is your first number one tip or easy and fun idea to generate success?
Well, I think that one of the key things is people. And we all have people in our lives, but having the right people, surrounding yourself with the right people, whether that's for your clients, your family, your friends, everybody that you encounter, because we get energy from, or it's drawn away from us by people. So if you're a person that enjoys being with people, that's one thing. Some people like being more on their own, but I find for me, being around people, having clients and contacts and connections that I can really resonate with, I do get energy from that. And so that's something that somebody asked me the other day, are you an empath? And I said, no, I don't think so. I just get along with people. I love that.
Uh-huh.
So
I like that.
that's a key. Yeah, that's really key. And then because we're working with people, that of course is very helpful when you can understand them. And when I'm working with clients, the first thing I ask them is, how are you? And I say, it's a question, it's not a greeting. So they actually have to answer me and tell me a little bit about how are they feeling. Are you happy, sad, frustrated, whatever it is, to share it and be in tune and in touch with that yourself, as well as putting it out there so other people know. A lot of times we're kind of taught to, not share and to keep everything in, and that's not healthy. So being able to put it out there, share with other people and know, how we're doing, and then we understand it as well. So that people part is key.
Yeah, I
I
love
would
that.
go ahead. Yeah.
Understanding your relationship with people, because you're right, not empath
Mhm.
or introvert or extrovert, or all these little titles and labels that go around in the jamboree that sometimes we claim, but to really get to the witness, the loving witness level of, okay, well, the first thing I want to do to really be successful is make sure I'm surrounding myself with the amount of people and the
Mhm.
type of people. So I love
Yes.
that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And so then from there, I would say another huge key for me has always been my health and wellness. And when I say that, it's not just about one thing. It's really a culmination of being able to have nutritious food, enjoy. I have a sweet tooth, so I still enjoy that now and then. But it's nutritious food, balanced food, whatever that means to everyone else. I am a meat eater, so not a vegan or vegetarian or any of that, but I appreciate people that are, and that's the way they want to go. But have nutritious food that feeds us, that feeds our brain, that feeds our body. The next piece is exercise and incorporating that. And again, whatever works for you. I'm done all kinds of things in my life. Started with track and field and bodybuilding in my teens and into my early 20s, and that really set the foundation for what I have done all my life, which is something. Whether it's the gym, which was many years of doing that 6 or 7 days a week. Now I do less of that, but I do yoga, so active intermediate yoga. I do a boxing class. I do a lot more classes now. That way I don't have to think about it. I can have other people put it
Somebody else does.
together. Much easier. Somebody else has to do it. I do circuit work, hit high intensity training. What else do I do? I play tennis, I snowboard, I ski. So it's keeping active and doing things that you enjoy. So I don't snowboard, ski, or play tennis in the morning, but everything else I do is in the morning, and it starts my day, and it really gets me going and positioned well to get started. And I say to people, that's my religion. I'm not doing a meeting before 10 a.m. unless I absolutely have to. Like today, we started early,
Mhm.
but it really lets me set my day, and it helps me sleep at night as well when I exercise and I'm eating right and all of that. And that is the third piece is sleep, is making sure you get rest, making sure your body is rested and taken care of. And all of those three things together, the fitness, nutrition, health, wellness, and sleep, rest, those really are the backbone to many things I've done in my life, helping me get through challenges. I speak about being the tenacious leader, and that tenacity comes from your body, your mind feeling well, and then being able to tackle the stuff that life throws at us. So for me, that's been I would say, the number one thing that has really taken me through many things in my life.
It's phenomenal. I love to circle back to, I want to go back to number two, everybody. We have a lot of similar values, Michelle. I just want to share that because
Nice.
I too believe in the daily connection. Who do I want to be today? I believe in the daily movement comes second. The movement is a big piece. And whether it's
Mhm.
any of those things, I love that you have a variety, because this is the thing. And she's not doing it all at once, friends, but she
No.
has a variety. I'm like that with food. Like, I just want to have a variety. I just want to have little bits of all of it. And you can It's this, you just not all at the same time. And that's how
Yes.
I like to call that's the difference between overflow and overwhelm. You
Yes,
can have
absolutely.
all, dozens of things that you love and desire, but just, what do
Keep
they
that
say?
moderation, everything in
Moderate it.
moderation,
It's
right? Yeah.
delicious, actually. I love a good variety, but movement has been a single key also to my successes, just from an energetic standpoint, because I have a lot of modalities in the energetics with Reiki and yoga and those connections to the embodied piece of us. And that's
Mhm.
it, because just even that movement, even if you just do like a 2-minute wave of your arms in the morning, you're
Yeah.
moving energy from
Right.
your body. And that
Mhm.
allows things that you want to create with people, what you're inspired and you're intentionally wanting to bring forward in your life. It
Mhm.
allows your body now to have a space for it to land.
Absolutely.
But I also love fitness. One of the things I did when I retired from my career, that was why I bought a small gym with my sister in Booty, Louisiana, because I
Ah,
loved watching people get excited about their fitness and their wellness. It just
yes,
rocked
yes,
my
yeah.
world. But so your number
Nah.
two, I just wanted to circle back for everybody. Write it down. It's valid. Health, wellness, movement, exercise. Exercise
Mhm.
doesn't mean hardcore. It just means getting out and moving the body. Uh,
Mhm.
and if you like gentle, I just keep like Tai Chi, anything, just that little
Yeah,
movement I'm doing with my hands right now for those that are
right.
getting
Yeah, it
this
makes a huge
video.
difference.
It
Yeah,
makes a difference.
yeah.
So I love that. And sleep. Thank you. We don't get to hear that often. And I don't believe that successful entrepreneurs realize, they really don't realize. And sometimes, even though they're at a great level of success, they're still holding themselves back
Mhm.
because of that rest.
And I will say too, when we talk about sleep, it's not about the 8 hours. People say, oh, it should have 8 hours, and teenagers sleep 16 hours or whatever it is. It's having enough sleep for you as an individual. So for some people, and for years, did 6 hours sleep and I was fine because I sleep well. I was rested. I go to bed, and I tried to go to bed earlier and do the 8 hour, and I would just lay there like a bump on a log. So it's about looking at your body and what works for you. If it's going to bed at 9 and getting up at 3, whatever works for you, but it's not necessarily saying you need 8 or 10 or whatever hours of sleep. It's how much sleep do you need? And if you wake up rested, then you've had enough sleep for you.
Mhm. And that's
Mhm.
powerful. But what I like to think, Michelle, is if you're doing the other two, like if you're on the bandwagon of the other
Yes,
two, the rest will
the rest
naturally,
comes. It
it
does.
comes.
Mhm.
And when you're open to receive it and allow it, you know the difference
Mhm.
from waking up feeling rested and waking up
Absolutely.
feeling like, oh, that wasn't even, I should have just been up all night. I should have turned Netflix on. What was I thinking?
Yeah.
But I will say for me, and this is just again part of my experiences over the last several months, and I'm sure everybody has something, it's the year of whatever, but I've been getting successfully and feeling so rested, almost nine
Mm.
hours of sleep per night. And I
Mhm.
really didn't see this as part of my experience because I've always been really good at 6. And
Yeah.
part of my body was trained in that. I hit the ground running
Yeah.
at 17, like climb that ladder, sweetheart, get up that
Yeah.
corporate chaos ladder. But anyway, yeah, so I love that your number 3 is sleep. These are
Yeah.
powerful. So I hope everybody got a chance to jot them down. I'd love to open the stage again for you one more time, Michelle, and just let others know how can they get closer to you. I'm going to have things in the show notes,
Mhm. Mhm.
but a little bit
And I
more.
will say too that those were all kind of my number two. So all of those together are
Oh,
my number two because that's the health and wellness piece. So I'll give you a number three. So
oh,
the number three for me is actually technology. And it's not about being on your phone or your computer. It's about using technology to help you do things. And sometimes that's other people doing the technology. It doesn't have to be you. I've talked to several podcasters who are editing their own podcasts and doing all of that stuff. If that's not your area of skill, let somebody else do it, because it's how we take things off our plates. And so the tools and technology make a difference in our lives. Right now, the huge talk is all around AI, and we use AI. My brother and I, we use AI in our business, but it's using it properly so it becomes an asset, not a liability, right? It's not copying, pasting. It's asking the right questions, getting the information, massaging it to your own voice, and then using it. So that's for AI. But also I talk about people who are using Apple. Apple makes amazing products. I won't discount that. The one thing they don't do really, really well is the calendar. And I've talked to so many people that are frustrated with how what they receive as the recipient getting something from Apple, a calendar, iCalendar, or the one sending it. And I talked to somebody today who said, oh no, I love it. I haven't seen anything difference. And that's partially because you don't know the difference. But for people who I have taken from an iCalendar to Google Calendar, oh my God, they're just like, oh my shit, Michelle, I can't believe how much this has helped my life. So I do help people on that, and happy to chat with somebody if they want to go down that route. But in general, looking and using tools that help you, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's one tool or two tools. You get people who say, oh, I just use Slack, or we use multiple tools in our business, because not everybody does one thing well for the most part. So it's using something that works for communication, that works for email, that works for your CRM. It's hard to get that one size fits all. So just keep in mind that it's not about trying to make one thing work. It's about finding the right tool, as my brother says, the right tool for the job. And then you can move forward successfully. So technology, embracing technology, not all of us are millennials or Gen Zers, but we figure it out, right? We figure it out and we make it work. And yeah, I lean into technology. I couldn't do many of the things I do in a day without embracing technology.
Well, it's arrived here on this timeline to support us. And
Yes.
just like anything or anybody or any human, we have the choice to either see the value or not. And
Yes.
I love that you're sharing. It's so important that we get to hear from other entrepreneurs and leaders and experts of how that technology can be useful. And then as the energetic part of me, as some of you know me very well as, resistance is resistance, my friends. And when we start resisting evolution, we're resisting our own evolution. That's resistance in the body. And from my own successful entrepreneur standpoint, resistance in the body is not bringing me to that 7-figure success through self-expression, because resistance in my body is meaning I am not in my fullest self-expression. Thanks, Michelle, for letting me have the stage for that. I had no idea that was going to come out, but so it is.
It is. You just want to come on out and share. Yeah.
So it is. And that really, I wanted to anchor that in with that technology piece, because it's huge when we can see the benefits that life is serving us right now for what is useful right now. And it may not be useful tomorrow. It wasn't useful 3 days ago, but every moment we asked for evolution, and it's silly for us to keep allowing everything outside of us to evolve and to hold our own selves back from it, because that's resistance. That's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Love your brother's conversation too, Michelle. I interviewed Martin, and you'll see that on this show, but they offer some really great micro trainings and in bits and pieces. And what I love about the two of you, and you also, is this just very heart open, honest, very well self-expressed. And there's the cat, and the cat confirms it all.
Yes. She's coming to say hello.
But yeah, it comes from such a great source. So I'm delighted to have been in connection with you today, Michelle. So thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. It's been a thrill to chat with you.
Yeah. Any last words of wisdom for our audience, Michelle?
I will just say that if you're able to step away from your business for a few hours, for a weekend, for a week, then you have a business. Otherwise, you might be an employee in your business, and I'm happy to chat with you about that.
I love that. I love that. Do you hear that? If you're feeling
Sorry,
like that, we hear this a lot with entrepreneurs. I don't have time.
Yes, absolutely.
And so if you're
Sorry, that
feeling that's
happens.
okay. If you're feeling a shortage of time, contact Michelle because she will help you recognize where you have limitless resources available at your disposal,
Yes,
really. So thank you,
definitely.
Michelle. Thank you for that invitation to our guests. And as I said, wherever you're catching our show, find in the show notes, contact me. I'll have contact information where you can get right to Michelle. And I thank you. Thanks for
Yeah.
listening. Thanks for being here today until we get to chat again about all these secrets. Bye
I
for now.
love it. And I'll share with you, for your audience, I'll share my Tenacious Leader scorecard so that they can sort of see where they are in the balance of their business, and happy to chat and do a consult after that as well.
Ooh, I love it. A scorecard. All right, everyone. That was your second invitation. Go now. Bye for now, everyone.